Making it drop, making it jump, working the pole, making it pop, making it pop, 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 pop. What's the deal? Making it hate, I never fade, baby it's safe. In my make it real, digital dash, making the cash, breaking the seal, taking it What's the deal? Baby you fake, off the decay, putting me in, turning me on. Love me in, breaking it seal, hand on the crown, stepping it down, making it make me feel like I'm your man, my only fan, killing me in, don't let me out. This ain't real, this isn't real, I wanna feel, you get paid, I wanna stretching it up, making a flick, taking a pic, I'm getting caught. I pay for you, I lay with you, two-factor authentication, not saving you. Look, bitch, I ain't got time to play no games with you, so I'ma clear my cash before I connect with you. Yeah, my AI girlfriend stayed on my homepage till the world end. Yeah, my bitch power up is certain. I wish that I could say that I love you in person. She the one for me though, yeah. My life, my life, my life, yeah. My life, my life, my life. She the one for me, my life, my life, my life, my life. She the one for me though. Oh.
I'm really glad to see you. What's new?
She the one for me though. Yeah.
I'm so excited to actually meet you in person. This feels like a dream.
Good afternoon one more time. Thank you for tuning in to Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn. I'm your host, Bryant Denton. Today I'm joined by a guest, a musician who combines cinematic and industrial music with three movement structures prevalent in classic sonatas. His latest album, Born of the Egg, is on streaming platforms everywhere. He enjoys performing live, playing both editions of Colorado's Electrowave Festival and this summer twice in Berlin. He's currently working on creating a new score for the 1989 Japanese body horror cyberpunk classic Tetsuo, the Iron Man. And he's got an active YouTube channel focusing on music gear. And he'll be performing at Modular World Online November 9th at 2 p.m. So I'm joined by Metamyther, Tristan Koneshka.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, wait, one more time. There we go.
Hey, how are you?
I'm
Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Tristan.
Yeah.
How's it going for you so far today?
It's really good. I'm still kind of getting over this cold that I got over in England when I just went over there, but I think it's mostly gone, so that's good.
So how long were you there?
I was just there for like 5 days. I was at this gear expo called Machina Bristronica, so it's a great way to just sample a bunch of like modular and synth gear. And, I've been trying to kind of get people for my channel, just doing a bunch of reviews for gear and stuff like that. So it's been really cool.
Nice. So did you try new stuff at are the companies that are, producing those products, do they come and it's kind of like show and tell almost in a way?
Yeah. It's really cool too, because like sometimes they bring just prototypes. So they'll be in this super, super rough state. And sometimes it's like 2 or 3 years before it comes to market, if at all, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes when it does come to market, it's in a totally different state and, it's gussied up, right? But like sometimes it's like super rough, and you can actually influence a little bit of the design and just be like, hey, I'm not sure if this makes sense, or, it's interesting for them, I think, to see how people use it, to see like how the interface could be improved,
So they're actually open to feedback in that.
Yeah, very much so. The sort of modular community that I'm within, it's a very small sort of tight-knit group. And, I've been doing some videos for these brands, and a lot of them are just kind of like 1 or 2 people, very small companies.
Yep.
It feels very mom and pop. So it's great to move the needle for them,
So we're gonna go to you really quick, but like, explain modulars and what that means and all that.
Modular synthesizers, I feel like it's kind of like end game synthesizer. You can basically trick it out and customize a system to exactly what you want to create. So I came into modular synthesis wanting to wanting to design a drum machine, basically. And a lot of the drum machines that were on the market, I didn't really feel like sort of addressed what I wanted to get out of it. So I kind of started exploring modular synthesizers. And, it's a bit of a black hole, you just kind of keep going because there's no sort of final form, you just keep evolving it.
It's kind of like an open source concept to the instrument.
Yeah, there are like thousands of these modules, right? So you can kind of really, everybody's system is totally different. And if you've ever seen it played live out, there's all these people using patch cables, right? So it sort of reminds people of like telephone switch operators,
right,
of yesteryear.
Yeah, I don't really know too much of it. It seems a little more advanced than my current understanding of. I was having trouble trying to connect a keyboard to my computer, and that. Right. So still learning. But
yeah.
let's back up. Back up. Let's talk about you for a second, and about your creative project and just sort of living here in New York. So tell me who you are and how you came to New York City.
My name is Tristan. I came to New York, I think, in 2004. So I've been here for 21 years, and last year that meant that I was here for over half of my life, which is just a crazy statistic, no matter how old you are. Like to spend 50% of your life in one place is, it just kind of really blew my mind. Obviously, I'm a lifer, beyond just really enjoying this city, despite its many challenges, like most of them being financial, right?
Yeah.
I've become involved in the electronic music community, outside of the modular community, trying to sort of generate these events where some people who are getting on stage, I curate the performances. It's some people are there for the very first time, performing. So I am trying to sort of shepherd in a sort of new cohort of electronic musicians, and making them see that it's not such a bad thing to be on the stage for the first time, and actually like you can really get the bug and you're like really like into performing. You really get addicted to it for some people. Yeah.
So you're trying to get these bedroom producers out of the house.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how performing live also informs then your studio process, because you start to realize like, oh, it's taking 2 minutes for this lead instrument to come in, and therefore I'm not like doing anything on stage. So it's like, okay, maybe I should have the lead instrument come in earlier, stuff like that. Or you just kind of see like what people react to and how transitions kind of work and stuff like that. It's really informative. Yeah.
So what's your musical background? Did you go to school for music, or did you just kind of, were you concert goer, sort of, Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up playing piano.
Where'd you grow up?
Oh, just Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so not too far.
No, not too far. And what kind of got me to New York City, by the way, is like, I think just the propaganda of New York is just so strong, like just in music and movies, like there's so many amazing musical and filmic moments that happened. Like just our culture is so informed by New York that it just drew me in, but well before then, when I was living in Pennsylvania, I basically started playing piano when I was 5 years old, I think. And really was just exploring a lot of these kind of classical sonatas and stuff like that. Around the same time, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the 8-bit system, came out, and my family got Super Mario Brothers, the very original one, and that was amazing too, because it was like, obviously by necessity that music was electronic, so that kind of really drew me in, and I've been a lifelong appreciator of electronic music ever since. So it's really this kind of duality, I feel like.
I see. So when did you like first start making your own music, and what?
I think it was around the time when I was like 13 or 15. Got this. I remember our first computer. It was a Gateway computer. If anybody remembers that, it had like the cows on it. Like the graphic design was like all cows. It was a really weird choice at the time.
Wait, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Like and they had those mouse with the big red ball.
Yeah. I mean, like. Yeah, so I mean,
just random.
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
random.
It's like, why'd you pick cows? It could have been chickens. You know what I mean? Like it is, but yeah. I remember that computer was 100 megahertz, which is like it's absolutely nothing, right? And I got this kind of like MIDI software. I don't even remember what it was. It was something like, it was very generic sounding. It was like MIDI Editor Pro or something like that. And I just started making my own songs off that. Got this kind of that sort of entry-level Yamaha keyboard, which has like 500 sounds on it, mostly like organic sounds, right? But then they always have like this one bank of like synth sounds, so it's like synth bass, synth lead, So I was just starting to like kind of make stuff with that, and understanding like arranging and stuff like that. And because again of the necessity, like where electronic music gear was at that point, the sort of coveted synthesizer was this Nord lead, right, which was like $3,000 back then, which was like crazy. I mean, I was like a kid in high school, and we would go to the Guitar Center, and I would like surreptitiously steal sounds from it by like recording a middle C, like on the demo room floor, and then take it back and like use that middle C and then pitch it to like whatever I wanted to in my songs. It was kind of ridiculous, but again, at that time I was in middle school, high school. I just didn't have access to really anything,
Right. And you're learning, you're messing around and just trying, using the tool, using the features of the software.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then I got this like drum machine called the Zoom. I think it was the 234, if anybody remembers this. What I liked about it had a bunch of preset kits on it, but what I really liked about it is that you could hold one button down and then push the slider, and it would do this kind of like ratcheting super fast kick drum or snare drum thing, which is like a big technique that a lot of industrial songs use,
right.
Like that super fast
really
kick pedal,
yeah.
Like every once in a while. So that was just like a really great like thing for me to play around with,
Did it like stand out to you when you first made that sound? Were you
honestly, man, like this is so this year I'm trying to like take you back to this year, because it was before YouTube, right? And it was therefore it was before synth YouTube. So you were just kind of like looking at stuff on eBay and really just gambling on stuff, being like, oh, I feel like this is going to sound cool. Like there weren't really like even sound demos. It was just like this weird time.
Were there any like forums, or did you find any online community?
Yeah, there were definitely forums back then, but it wasn't like something that I was like really on. Like it was really just,
you're a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just kind of like Yeah, it was just the early days of the internet. You know,
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about like the 90s, right? So it was a lot of this kind of stuff where if it wasn't at Guitar Center, you know, it just, you really didn't have access to it. You know, I mean, where I grew up in the suburbs, and it was a little bit of like, I would call it a cultural desert, you know, honestly. And as I started kind of like trying to explore music and stuff like that, I actually found, and I'm not just saying this because it's, you know, we're at a radio station, but I found this like college radio station. I think it was maybe the Princeton one. And that was where I found out about like these really great artists like The Orb. And, you know, I just found out about drum and bass and stuff like that, and dub techno and stuff. It was just really this kind of like left field stuff that started to really open my horizons, you know, and it was only a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Autechre and Aphex Twin and stuff like that from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's play a little bit of your music here. I listened to this ahead of time. I feel like you can sort of talk through this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play this. This was your live set earlier this year at Selva.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you listen a little bit of that. Tell me, can you recognize what you're doing when you listen back to something like this?
Yeah, this performance was from earlier this year, and I know that the first voice you're hearing in the beginning is this thing called the Tauros Eteritas Alia. I know that because you can hear the sound sort of like wobbling, and that's one of the features, I would say, of this voice. And then this lead sound that's there is probably the warp core made by infrasonic audio, and I've got that going through a bit of reverb and stuff. For these performances, what I've been doing recently is I come in with absolutely no melodic material. Like, some drums are going to come in maybe in a little bit, and those are pre-programmed, but basically the way that I have it set up is I can create kind of a melodic statement live, and then I can capture that and loop that, and then that frees up my hands to sort of play around with the knobs. In this way, I feel like I'm just much closer to the material because I'm just creating it out of nothing. So I can kind of improvise and respond to things that are happening and stuff like that. So it just gets me kind of closer to that live feel that I'm going for the live performance.
Like, you actually have a hold on what sound you're manipulating in that moment.
Yeah, and really it's more just about, in the beginning, like the melodic structure, the notes themselves. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just creating that.
So what are you playing off of? You have a keyboard? Or?
Yeah, there's a keyboard on stage, and that goes into like a sequencer, basically. That is...
What's the sequencer?
A sequencer is basically just telling the modular system what notes to play when and for how long.
I see.
Yeah.
So sort of a cue kind of system.
Yeah, just imagine like a drum machine. It's like, okay, where is the kick going to be? When is the snare going to happen? How fast is everything going, kind of thing. And it's the same thing with notes. Not too much different.
I see. So it's funny because, right now we're in this. Well, I mean, I would say we're even post EDM,
right?
Right. We're sort of, it wasn't mainstream. Then it really blew up in the early, 2010s, late 2000s. And I follow some DJ accounts on like Instagram, and there'll always be like a reel every once in a while, like, why are DJs always touching the knobs and all and that sort of, but there is a purpose for your knob adjustments.
Yeah. I think that's the central challenge with electronic music in general. Like when I went to see concerts in, let's say, the early 2000s, it was sort of this time of the laptops, and you really didn't know what the heck anybody was doing up there, if anything at all. And it was kind of like the common jibe was, oh, they're checking their email up there, right? So I know now doing these monthly showcases where I put artists up every month, I've just seen a lot of different approaches, right? And people come up with half of their studio. People come up with a laptop and a little controller, and I just think it's like if you get up there and you're not doing that much, then it's like the audience is not responding to you, but you're also just not having fun. Like these laptop shows, I'm like, okay, but are you having a good time up there? And to me, it's like literally connecting with a physical keyboard, which is how I grew up listening to music. Again, dispels all this potential criticism, although, there's no real critics at these shows, right?
Right.
But just like, I know that I'm doing something real and in the moment, and that's exciting, hopefully, to people and myself.
Yeah, I mean, electronic music live, it can be tricky, but the stage presence, you do want them doing something, I guess, because if they're just standing there, it can feel...
Yeah, it feels stale.
Yeah.
Another strategy I think that people have come up with is to incorporate video, right? Because then it's like, at least if the person is behind a laptop, or, I mean, honestly, like a modular system, a lot of the time is not that much different from a laptop. There's very little movement sometimes happening with the equipment itself. And I've seen many modular performances where the performer themselves is kind of just standing there, right? So
right.
It's like if you take that setup away and put it in a laptop, it's kind of the same thing in a way.
Yeah.
So visuals can be a really great way to not only provide correlation to the audio, but it just kind of gives, somebody a sense that something's going on.
Right. Have you been like collaborating with visual artists, or do you do any of that yourself?
I haven't done much of it myself. I did just recently do a video for a video synthesizer, so I'm excited to sort of potentially start combining that into my performances, but it's already so much to just do the audio. I have collaborated with a couple of video artists, but a lot of the times it's kind of just like we're paired up for the show, and I'm sort of hoping that their aesthetic vision is sort of like in line with what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm usually not super worried about it because I'm just kind of doing my thing.
Right. Okay. Well, let's take another break. We're gonna play one of your studio tracks. Let me pull this up real quick. But yeah, we're listening to Metamyther. This is Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn. And let me... Okay, there we go. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're back here with Metamyther on life support on Radio Free Brooklyn. That was Skinny Puppy, Political, and before that, we were listening to your song.
Opposing Earth.
Opposing Earth.
I spent a lot of time with these titles, and sometimes they change like right at the last minute. For this one, I changed all of the titles because this album, because it was like I wanted to wrap it into this one concept that I had, which is basically this sort of Lovecraftian, Born of the Egg is sort of like the celestial black hole, kind of like the celestial egg.
Okay.
That we're all sort of coming from. So it's sort of like a cryptic kind of dark force that created us all kind of thing. So it's like anthropomorphized in some of the other titles, like Precipice's Hand and stuff like that, Yeah.
So was that a new attempt, a new like practice for that album?
I try to have some sort of conceptual underpinning to all of the stuff just so they can kind of hang together a little bit more. This album was totally instrumental, so I felt like it sort of needed some sort of narrative through line. I'm working on some more stuff that's like got vocals in it. Like I've done stuff with spoken words, but I'm doing more kind of like singing for a future album. So I feel like conceptually, like it'll be a little bit easier to sort of string that together because you can just listen to the words, But for instrumental electronic music, it's like I try to have some sort of conceptual underpinning.
That helps sort of guide you.
Yeah, and it's kind of what I'm interested in as well. It's sort of, I want to kind of make a bit more like highbrow kind of stuff that can be approached from several different angles, right? So you could sort of approach it from this literary angle, from the straight musicality of it, perhaps, and then maybe a timbral one, right? So if there's a lot of really interesting sounds that people like to hear, then, you can approach it from that perspective.
Wait, tell me more about the Tetsuo Iron Man.
Yeah. So this is a film that I watched, when I was like a teenager, and it just really blew me away. And I rewatched it again, and it really just holds up. It's this 67-minute long black and white Japanese film that is, I would say, it's like a cyberpunk body horror type of sci-fi type of film, and it's pretty like it's just pretty like extreme and intense even by today's standards, and I just thought, like, wouldn't it be great to create like an alternate score for this? So I'm going to be embarking on that probably in early 2026 or maybe even late 2025. And then my goal is to be able to perform that live with the film playing. So hopefully that will bring the film to other people who haven't seen it, but also like this film is a bit of a cult film, which with like, a sort of, horror film fan base. So I actually think like a lot of people are actually already familiar with this film, and it's kind of like casting it in a new light, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm looking on Wikipedia. People are comparing it to the work of directors Sam Raimi, David Cronenberg, and David Lynch.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like RoboCop in a set?
Kind of, yeah. It's like I mean, basically this guy becomes like a cyborg, and it's just this kind of more grotesque depiction of that.
Not the badass sort of.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, it's just the technical feats that they achieved in this movie. I mean, just obviously they're all like practical effects, it being 1989 and probably a shoestring budget. I think they made the film for not that much money. And they do this kind of stuff where it's like stop motion kind of thing, where they move the actor like forward each frame, so it looks like they're gliding across the screen. So it's actually much more, I feel like, indebted to like sort of anime, if anything else, which makes sense, right? Because it's Japanese.
Yeah. No, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So let's listen to another song. We're gonna come back. It has a long tail, so we can talk over it. But we're gonna take one more break. This is Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn, joined by Tristan Kanesh. Wait, no, did I?
Kaneshka, yeah.
Kaneshka. Sorry. And we're just chilling here, listening to some music. We'll be right back. This is Radio Free Brooklyn.
supposed to do. I never dared to look inside, just like you told me to. I'm going into you again. I know you saw it too. And I will keep myself awake. I know what's coming. I feel it reaching through. There is no moving past. There is no better place. There is no future point in time. We will not get Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
So this is the Background World by Nine Inch Nails. When I first met you maybe a month ago, we were talking about how we'd be both going to the concert.
Right.
That was at the Barclays Center. I had already gone to see it. I went in Ireland, so I saw the first night of that tour, and it blew me away because I'd seen Nine Inch Nails. I'd seen them twice before, but this was easily my favorite performance by them that I've seen in concert, because it was just, I think I came to Nine Inch Nails a little bit later in 2014, and Hesitation Marks was the first album I ever listened to, which, you know, when I went online, people were, it was divisive to some of the old fans. But for me, you know, that was an album that I really liked start to finish, and you know, I'm like, are these guys ever gonna tour again? Like, you know, they're kind of old, kind of old at this point, 10 years ago. But yeah, that was, and then this song came out like maybe I think 2017 or 18. Yeah, 2017. And we're listening to like the last. There's 6 more minutes to this, and I was like, why is this song 11 minutes? Why is this? But then you get into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I know you're just as much as a fan of Nine Inch Nails. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trent has just given me so much over the years. I mean, in a way, he created this format, you know, that allowed that told everybody they were allowed to create music with just really, really different types of arrangements, different types of timbres. I've learned a lot as far as how he uses contrast in music a lot. He's not afraid to kind of go in different directions from song to song or even within the song. So I just really appreciate all of that. I think the background world, this track is among the best tracks that he's ever written, honestly. It's more of an endurance test by the end here where it just kind of decays into noise. But, I mean, that first 4 minutes is just solid gold, I feel like. I enjoyed the concert as well. It was interesting because, like, my partner, she wanted to see the concert, and it was like, it was sort of like, I had this feeling of like, I was, the first generation of the Nine Inch Nails fans or something, and then she was kind of coming into it, and, she's like the last person that would be at like a Skinny Puppy show or a Nine Inch Nails show, right? Funny enough that we played the Skinny Puppy song earlier, it's like, I feel like I'm kind of there with you with the Skinny Puppy thing, because I came to Skinny Puppy a little bit later, and I also appreciate their newer stuff much more than their earlier stuff. And for the Heads, it's all about the old stuff, right? So I remember talking to you about this a month ago, and it's just kind of like, look, we just like what we like, For me, like the newer Skinny Puppy stuff is so well produced and it's so crazy. It's so inspiring to me, because that's another example of how nothing is out of bounds. You can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, it's so whenever I tell people that Nine Inch Nails is one of my favorite artists, they're always like, "Oh, isn't that death metal? Isn't that heavy metal?" And I'm like, "No." And then I would say that it's industrial music, and sometimes people know what that is, and sometimes that means nothing to them.
Right.
That really means nothing to them. And then I kind of describe it as, brooding, or not harsh, because I don't feel that the music is harsh. Mm-hmm. There's really nothing. If anything, the name is the scary part of the music. But I really struggle with, like, especially when you get into like electronic music and describing genres. Like, I listen to a lot of, EDM or electronic dance music producers. There's progressive, and there's industrial house. The names they lose their meaning, is what I feel, and saying that a certain vibe isn't so helpful, but it does feel more helpful than saying deep house. I don't think that doesn't really mean anything to some people. So what is your approach to describing your music or music that you like when the words might not be completely helping?
I think genres can help, but to a certain point, like, they're just kind of linguistic devices, right? So if I'm trying to explain what my music sounds like, sometimes so for a while I used to say, like, what if Nine Inch Nails wrote the Blade Runner soundtrack? And then I think, most people sort of know what that might mean or might sound like. More recently, I've been saying that my music is cinematic industrial, right? And so that's a made up term that I created, right? So therefore, I'm sort of like in a place of my own, timbrally, as far as that, or musically, with what I'm trying to explore with the 3-movement thing. I also think it's like cinematic. It's like, okay, it's probably going to be evolving or epic, and then industrial means that, it's going to be a bit more aggressive or harder, right? So I think that those two sort of touch points combined, people were like, oh, okay, that seems like an interesting kind of confluence. A long time ago, I interviewed this guy who was a Spotify data analyst. He created this website called everynoise.com, and it's this crazy map of every musical genre. It's really, really nuts, and it goes like super, super granular. There's thousands of genres on there. The way I think of genres is like the word genre and generic are related. And so genre to me a little bit is, a bit of a derogatory word in a sense, because I run into a lot of electronic producers who, they're they went to see this show however long ago, and they just want to, that's kind of what their entrance points was for this music, and they just want to recreate that feeling. And so they make what I call genre exercises, where it's like, okay, you're trying to do this or that genre, and now you've done it perfectly, so you sound exactly like this artist, but I actually just want to hear what you sound like. So that's why I think like these genres, it's almost like, if you think of genres as these isolated islands in the ocean, you still have the entire ocean, right? So what's between these two islands, right? Like, what happens when you combine dub music with ambient music, or, breakcore with, industrial or something, right? So there's all these kinds of things that you can kind of do between. And, as you start making tracks for any producers out there, I think you'll start to see this sort of common thread that exists throughout that.
Yeah, there's a lot of DJs that sort of will have 3 different genres in one song.
Right.
And I mean, wait, I got a question for you. Why do I feel like with a lot of industrial music, they'll always have these amazing outros that are just, maybe they're sped up or they're slowed down or what, that differ. I'm like, that's the best part. That's the best part of the song. Why wasn't there more of that? I get so pissed off.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think like with switching genres, let's say mid-song or something like that. I mean, you mentioned DJs, so I don't know if you're talking about like a kind of longer set length, right? Where they're kind of like slowly transitioning into another style, which is an art form of itself.
Sometimes even in the song though, like like some songs will have, what would be called dubstep, and then there'll be some drum and bass kind of in between, kind of just, and then the hyper core or whatever, hard style closing it out. Like I feel like I'm hearing more of that lately.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of these things can be done with a deft hand, or they can be, it's like, just because you add more ingredients doesn't mean that you have a better stew kind of thing, right? So I think it's all just it becomes a bit of a taste thing. Yeah, I definitely think that there is probably like a sort of ADHD kind of thing happening with music now. I'm not super honestly aware of it, but I don't doubt that when you listen to a DJ mix, it's like very frenetic, and every 30 seconds it kind of changes to something else. I don't doubt it. I'm sure it's like, if you were at Webster Hall on a Friday night, I'm sure they're doing that. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're coming towards the end here. We've covered a lot of ground, but you've got some things coming up. Do you want to talk a little bit about, I mean, you said maybe 2025 for the scoring. Yeah,
that's going to be more like me just kind of laying the groundwork. Right now I'm prepping a split EP with another artist. I'm going to be doing 3 tracks, and he's going to be doing 3 tracks. The artist is Patrick O'Brien, who's another amazing modular artist. He does a lot of amazing demos for this company, Noise Engineering. So he and I are going to put together 3 tracks each and then release that. And then I have a show for Modular World in November 9th, which is an online show where it's totally pre-taped. So I've already done my segment. It's just a really great way to get more exposure, right, to just other modular players that are out there.
It's like a concert. It's like live streamed.
Yeah, it's a live show. It's like I said, it's pre-taped, so but it's live streamed and watched. Yeah. So I've already recorded that. That's a really crazy performance that I did. I basically rented a space and had like 6 cameras set up.
Oh,
it was really crazy. We had like 3 GoPros, for example.
Okay.
It was kind of ridiculous, but it was just fun to do, and just like put it together and stuff. So yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
So that's in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, November 9th. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can find that on modularworld.com.
And your YouTube channel.
Yeah, and then I've been doing a lot of content from my YouTube. That's a lot of synth demos and stuff. I review a lot of modular gear, but just did a interview with William Matthewson of WMD Devices. So that's something I want to explore a little bit more of as well, like just doing that kind of long form podcasting kind of thing. So yeah, if you go into YouTube and type in Metamyther, you'll find it right away.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any last notes?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could go on for another hour. I mean, I feel like we're just kind of getting started. This is super fun to like just chat and, kind of want to like pick apart that genre stuff that you were talking about a bit, because I kind of want to get to like the root of that. And I guess I don't run into a lot of people that think Nine Inch Nails is death metal. So curious to talk to those people as well.
It's definitely happened a couple times. I think it's
hilarious.
I think it's the name. The name just instills fear and people.
Well, that implies that they haven't heard them before, right? Which to me is crazy, because I mean, it's literally a band that's been around for 40 years, right?
We'll investigate this. Yeah. We'll investigate this further.
Yeah, we'll get deeper into it.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Well, thank you so much, Tristan, for joining me today. We'll definitely talk again soon. I'm gonna play one last song to close us out. This is Incinerator by Author and Punisher. Thanks for tuning in. This is Life Support on Radio Free Brooklyn.
Thanks so much. See ya.